Metal Driver here, and today I am looking at the winner of the 2023 Royal Rumble, and that is the America Nightmare. Well, this video is off to a great start. That's right, I am looking at Elite Series 101, and that is the brand new Cody Rhodes figure, and what a great time for this figure to be released. The side of the box features an image of Cody, then on the back we get another image along with some information and the rest of the figures that are in this wave. But before I continue, Beast_Taker000, The Bloodline, Z-Quack, Hardcore Wrestling Underground, and Gordy Gameplay Reacts, Spider-Man Reacts, you have been acknowledged. Now, with all that being said, let's go ahead and open this up and take a closer look at the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Here we get a 360 look at the American Nightmare. Seriously, Mattel, how'd you mess that up? We see some nice detail throughout the figure. He comes with a few accessories. Unfortunately, he does not come with his signature coat. Probably a cost-saving measure, although it still would have been nice to get something, even one of those old-style coats that had no articulation, as much as I hate those. We do get some interchangeable hands. We see some open hands right here. His right hand taped up here, the left hand exposed. We get fisted hands. And then we get his signature belt that says Nightmare, featuring the American Nightmare logo. Let's get a closer look at that. Paint looks really good on this. I don't see anything that's sloppy or mispainted. Now this is pretty much identical to the belt that we got with the Supreme Collection, or at least one of the belts. Now it is much bigger than the Jazzwares one. Not sure if that's accurate. I do like how Mattel has this sculpted stitching right here. That's nice. What I don't like is that it features this old style front here where you clip on the belt. That is outdated. We should get a new sculpt for this because that's not accurate. Jazzwares did give us an accurate one. Here we got the belt buckle, which in turn looks really nice when it's around Cody's waist here on the Jazzwares figure. Whereas here on the Mattel one, yeah, that doesn't look that good. So hopefully the Ultimate Edition one has a new sculpt for the belt. I don't remember if it does or not. I don't know if they showed any images, but hopefully it does. Does look nice from the back. Taking a look at the head sculpt, I think this is brand new. I don't think any of the older Cody figures had this head scan. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it looks nice. It has a good enough likeness to Cody. My only issue is that it feels very lackluster, a bit boring, very expressionless, and that kind of sucks because Cody is a very expressive guy. Anytime he comes down to the ring, he's smiling, he's shouting. We see a lot of images of Cody smiling with his mouth open, so I would have preferred if we'd gotten a head scan like that. I know we're getting at least 3 head sculpts with the upcoming Ultimate Edition, but it kind of sucks that we're not getting that here, just because it feels like it's a bit lifeless. It's always nice to get a figure that's expressive, especially when it's an expressive wrestler. It is painted well, the eyes look good, the eyebrows, the lips. There's a little bit of extra paint right here near the chin, so I'm going to have to take that off with some acetone. Hair is sculpted well, good paint, a nice bleach blonde. And then looking at the neck tattoo, it actually goes up to the head sculpt, so it is accurate in that sense, because the Jazzwares figures were always painted right on the neck, which I think looked aesthetically pleasing on a figure. This one, I don't know. Like, it looks great from this angle, but if you move the head, then it just looks weird, it looks off, it's unnatural, the tattoo breaks apart. Now, they did fully paint it here on the neck, so it's not cut off, but it just looks, I don't know, I really don't like that. It looks great from this angle, and it is accurate, but I think with what Jazzwares did here, with their Cody figures, it doesn't break apart the tattoo, it doesn't look off, so I probably would have preferred this on the Mattel one. Looking at the body, I think it's a fine one for Cody. I do like that they included paint for the chest hair. The Dream tattoo, it's painted well, looks good. Arms look decent enough. I don't know if they should be bigger or not. No, I think this is fine. Taped up hand right here, painted really well, that looks nice. Looking at the body, I don't know, do I think this looks better? I don't know, something about the Jazzwares I think just matches Cody's torso a little bit better. This is the Supreme one. We'll look at the standard Cody figures from Jazzwares in a bit, but overall I think for an elite body, I think this is fine, this looks good. Then looking at the lower body, he is decked out in the same tights as the Supreme Collection, or at least the standard Supreme Collection Cody, with this blue color here. As you can see, same design. We'll do a more in-depth comparison shortly, but in the meantime, I think the paint looks really good. Let's go ahead and zoom in. There are some minor imperfections here and there. Not a big deal. It doesn't really ruin the figure. Nothing too major. Paint overall looks good. Nice design here on the side. Good paints. Same thing on the other side. Now, as we'll see in a little bit, the tights here are a little bit more dull and darker than the Supreme one. That's a little more vibrant. I don't know if that's accurate, if he wore a duller version or if it's supposed to be like that. It's good paint here on the knees. That looks good. This one's painted pretty well. Looks like maybe a little bit of missing paint right there. And then he's got his traditional white boots, whereas the Supreme collection had the boots painted in the American flag. I prefer these boots. The white ones with the American Nightmare logo. Painted really well. That looks nice. Same thing on the other side. Good paintwork there. Comparing the new Elite Cody Rhodes next to the Jazzwares Supreme collection. Now, it may be a bit of an unfair comparison, considering the Supreme one is a higher end figure. In this case, the attire that they're wearing is the same. We've got the blue tights with the red and gold designs. Now, I did mention that the Supreme one has a more vibrant color. I do kind of like that a little bit better, but looking at the two figures side by side, I can't say that I do prefer the design of the torso on the Supreme one a little bit better than the Elite. In my opinion, it matches Cody's body a little bit better, and the Supreme one is slightly taller than the Elite. Looking at the tattoos, the tattoo on the Elite one does look more accurate, but again, we run into that problem where if you move the head, it kind of cuts off the tattoo. Now, looking at the unrivaled Series 4 Cody next to the Elite, I picked this one because this is my favorite of the $20 Cody Rhodes figures from Jazzwares, and this head sculpt is great. I think this has a better representation of Cody's face than the Elite one. It's very expressive, has his mouth open like he's pumped and hyped, which is nice because Jazzwares, their head scans can be hit or miss, but when they hit hard. So I do prefer this head scan over the Elite one, and I like the body a little bit better. I think it matches Cody's physique a little bit better. I do prefer this over the Elite one, and as we can see, it is shorter than the Supreme collection, so it matches the height of the Elite Cody a lot better. Going over the articulation, that head is on a ball joint. It looks that high up, that far down, so not too bad of a range. Can turn side to side and tilt very well. Shoulder goes that high up, it rotates all the way around. There is a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that, holy cow, this one's tight. Hopefully I don't break it. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna have to heat that up, but there is the full range there. There's a swivel and hinge at the wrist. He crunches that far forward, goes that far back, so pretty good range there. A cut at the waist, legs go that far out, they go that high up, thigh cut. Double jointed knees, a cut at the top of the boot, ankle goes that high up, that far down, and some slight ankle pivot. And if you've watched any of my reviews of the AEW Cody figures, you'll know it's time for a roll call. Here's the new Elite 101 Cody Rhodes next to Cody Rhodes, 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 and finally Cody Rhodes. I don't know about you, but I don't think we have enough Cody Rhodes. We need more. And while comparing the Elite Cody next to the Jazzwares versions, I realized that the Mattel one does not have that tattoo around the ring figure, whereas all the ones on Jazzwares do, so that is some missing detail there. We finally have the American Nightmare in the Elite line for our Mattel collection, and there are some issues that I have with it. The weight belt is this old, outdated sculpt, which normally wouldn't be that big of an issue, but considering we have the Jazzwares to compare it with, and they sculpted that belt very well, kind of looks a little bit of an eyesore here. He is missing his signature coat. I get not having that with this figure. Probably would have made it a little more expensive. But really the biggest thing that I think Mattel kind of dropped the ball on is the head scan. Not necessarily bad, it's a bit soulless. And we all know that Cody has adrenaline in his soul. What? Alright, that was a stupid joke. But in all seriousness, it should have been more expressive. Here I have him posed when he's hyping up the crowd, and he should be shouting, he should be screaming, his mouth should be open, or at least smiling, and yeah, he looks kind of bored. So with all that being said, is this the best Cody figure we have? Absolutely not. The Supreme Collection Cody was my favorite figure of 2022, and going into 2023 so far, that is the absolute best Cody figure to date. And I know that's a bit of an unfair comparison because that figure has more articulation, more accessories, but the attire is the same, and I do like the attire on that one being more vibrant. That's just my personal opinion. And then comparing him with a $20 standard, unrivaled Cody Rhodes, even those figures I think look a little better than this one. I just like the torso and the head scans, but that's not to say that this figure is bad, and I am happy to have him in my collection because I am a huge Cody Rhodes fan. I was still cheering him when the AEW crowd turned on him, so I love having an official Mattel one in my collection. So if you are a big Cody Rhodes fan like myself, then I certainly say this is worth getting. If you manage to pick up the Supreme Collection and you just want one good one, or the best one, then I would say that one is the one to stick with. So Mattel has not dethroned Jazzwares in the best Cody figure, at least yet. We are getting that Ultimate Edition later this year. Unfortunately, that was one of those made-to-order figures, so if you didn't pre-order it, then you're kind of out of luck. But if you did, we shall wait and see if that becomes the best Cody Rhodes figure ever made. But in the meantime, while you wait, hit that like button, subscribe, check out the card at the end of the video to see my latest WWE wrestling figure reviews, and I'll see you next time.